Welcome to Learn It, a series of digital scrapbooking tutorials by Studio Wendy at Scrapbook Graphics. Today we're going to take a quick look at the planner card printables actions. They're very simple. They just come with a set of templates for either Erin Condren or the Happy Planner. And the actions are going to lead you through filling up the template spots with papers or journal cards or photos. So in each of the sets here, you'll see that you have the templates and the actions. So go ahead and get the actions installed in either Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. And then what you want to do is open your template. In the templates folder, you have your choice between Photoshop and TIFF format. So just open up the folder that you want to use. And there are two versions supplied, with lines and without lines. And what I mean by lines are outer borders. So if you use a cutting machine, or if you're planning on using papers that are very white backgrounds or very light backgrounds, when you print them, they can be hard to detect the edges. So for those, you want to go ahead and use a template that has the lines in it. If you are printing solid colors or you're just cutting by hand and you have nice heavy solid colors, the no line version may be preferable to you. So those are both provided there. Within the lines and no lines folders, you have the colored versions here, and then you have a version with a white background. And you can just, whichever works best for your workflow, you can go ahead and choose that one. If you open one of the templates with a white background, the template will look blank except for the line. So if you open the no line version, it looks blank. But you'll see here, these layers are all in here and they will get filled as we run the action. Okay, one more thing I wanted to point out before we get started. In the Erin Condren set, I have also included what I'm calling bonus shapes. These shapes are set up to fill all of the various box sizes on the calendar type pages. So you have your single box and your date area here, or if you want to print out an image that's the entire box with the date to cover it up, you can use one of the date and lines boxes. So all the various sizes for 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, and 4 columns are provided here. And these are just for your own use. If you want to drag and drop these different sizes onto your own printable sheet to do a more custom combination of sizes, you can go ahead and use these bonus templates. There are no actions to go with these bonus shaped templates, but that is what they're meant for. These, the ones that say bottom here, let's see, these are the regular boxes, then we have the bottoms. These bottom boxes are meant to cover the bottom section of the page where you have the bulleted type and the lines. And there are 3 sizes provided in each of the single, double, triple, and quadruple columns here. And they are designed to either cover just the line area, that's called the lines only. The medium size box is designed to cover the lines along with that bulleted line of text. And the extra tall area is designed to cover the entire bullet area all the way down to the bottom of the page. So that's what those sizes are for. So again, these are just for your own use and they don't work with the actions, but I thought they'd be helpful for some of you trying to print out really specific sizes. So let's go ahead and close out of that. I have open here one of the Erin Condren templates, and this particular one has a side image, a bottom image, and then 9 image boxes here in the center area. All we're going to do is select the appropriate action to go with the template. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This says 12 boxes, but it's really 11, so just choose that action and go ahead and press play. Then you'll be prompted to open up your first image. So I'm going to go ahead and just select a paper here, just a random paper. And you'll see that that paper is placed into the image here, and then we're given the opportunity to resize it if we want. Just grab those handles, hold in the shift key or not depending on your version, and you can resize that paper to use any particular section of it that you want. And when you're done, you can press enter. And of course, you can use a photo or a journal card in each of these spots. It doesn't matter. So you'll see here if I back out and go into these ATC cards, I can pick one here and use that instead. What I wanted to make sure I do is cover up the entire pink area and just press enter. So we're going to go through and do this for each of the spots. These last two spots are longer and wider, so I'm going to go ahead and use a paper instead of a card for that. Pressing enter after each one. Then I'm going to be prompted to save my file, so let's call this Living My Life Erin Condren, and we're saving a JPEG here for printing. And there we go. So there's my printable sheet. If I want to, I can go ahead and add some text in here and complete off my page before printing it. So it's very simple. It just leads you through filling up those spots. Of course, if you don't want to use the actions, you can use these templates as a regular template. You've got all the different layers here to clip to. And if you clip, let me just demonstrate that. If we go in and get a card and copy and paste it. If we clip it by holding the Option key and clicking between the layers, then we can grab the Move tool, that's V on the keyboard. We can position that card where we want it, and you'll see that the border on this will remain as long as that special effect is still kept on that layer there. So you can also use them manually if you don't want to use the actions. One more important thing before we finish up, I wanted to show you how important it is to get your print settings right when you are printing these cards out. If you have your printer set up to allow the page to resize to fit your paper, then you may have problems with the sizes not printing out exactly the right size that you need for the planner. So if you go into your print dialog box, you scroll down to the position and size section of your print dialog box. You'll see here that I have the option to scale to fit media. And what that's going to do is resize it to whatever my paper size is. Now my paper size, you'll see up here, is currently set to 4x6. So the first thing I need to do is change that to letter and click Save. Now my page is set up on a letter sheet. But if I have Scale to Fit Media checked, it's actually going to increase, in this case, the size of my images. I want to make sure that that stays unchecked. Now, other print dialog boxes are going to show this a little bit differently. So let's look at a couple other places where we can actually print from. So let's go over to Acrobat. So here we are in Adobe Acrobat. I've dragged my JPEG onto the Acrobat icon to open this as a PDF. And from here, if I go to print, you'll see down here in paper size and handling, I have fit, actual size, shrink pages, custom scale. All these are messing with the size of the images. I'm going to put it over here in color so we can see it a little bit better. What I want to print is actual size. I do not want to let the printer increase or decrease my images based on the paper size. So if I print actual size, there's plenty of white border around these pages that it should not interfere with the printer. And that way I'm getting the actual size that these images are supposed to be for putting into the planner. So that is in Acrobat. And then we can also look at it in Preview. You can print right from Preview. And here you'll see that I have the scale options here. Scale to fit. We do not want that. We want to set it at scale. And you'll see here, if you have scale to fit and it's playing with the size here, if you go down to scale, it's going to default to that size. So you'll need to make sure you set that to 100%. So when you print from Preview or some other image editor, make sure that that scale is set to 100%. So there you go. That is how to make sure your pages are printing at the correct size. So that's how these template sets work. I hope it's been helpful, and have fun with your planners. I'll see you next time.